God calls Abram, based on Genesis chapters 11 and 12, chapter 17 verses 1 through 21, chapter 18 verses 1 through 14, and chapter 21 verses 1 through 7.
Many years pass. People forget about the God who created them. They move down the Euphrates River and build the great trading city of Ur. Ur is a land of plenty, with plenty of different gods. But the one true God speaks to a young man named Abram.
Abram, why are you out here in the middle of the night?
Sarai, God has spoken to me. He said to leave my father's family, my country, and the false gods of Ur behind me. He said to travel to a land that he will show me. There he will make our family a great nation, and all the people on the earth will be blessed through me.
It will be scary to leave everything we know and our family, but we will trust the Lord to keep his promises. I wonder how your father will take the news.
Abram can't leave me behind in my old age. And Lot, you're his nephew. Since your father is dead, it's Abram's responsibility to take care of you too. We're going with him.
God leads Terah, Abram, and the rest of their families to the rich land of Haran. Even though the land is beautiful and fertile, God does not want them to settle there. But Terah loves this new land and wants to retire there. Out of respect for his father, Abram stays in Haran, putting off his pursuit of God's promises. One day, Terah dies. Abram is now the head of the tribe. He immediately takes charge.
Load up the animals!
What are your plans for the tribe, Master?
God has called me to take my family and leave Haran. I will continue to seek his promised land.
I'm with you, Uncle Abram.
Abram and his tribe leave Haran. They travel through the surrounding lands. For several years, he and his extended family live the life of wandering nomads. But then a famine sweeps through the land. Abram doesn't have enough food to support his tribe. He decides his only choice is to lead his people to Egypt, a powerful nation with plenty of food. But he has some fears about his plan.
Sarai, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I'm afraid that when Pharaoh sees you, he will fall in love with you. Since I'm your husband, he'll kill me so that he can marry you. We must pretend to be brother and sister.
That sounds very unlikely, but I'll do what you ask.
But Abram's prediction comes true. Pharaoh falls for Sarai's loveliness. Thinking Abram is her brother, Pharaoh gives him lots of money and gifts and asks Sarai to be his wife. But before Pharaoh can marry her, God intervenes to save his chosen family.
Plagues!
God strikes the Egyptians with disease, so they will let Abram and Sarai go in peace. They give Abram food and money and send him and his family on their way. Thankful for their close escape, Abram and Sarai realize how foolish their plan was.
From now on, I will trust God. I can only pray that he forgives me.
I'm sure God forgives you, Abram. After all, he protected us in Egypt, even when we forgot to trust him.
I'll never try to outsmart God's plan for us again.
I just hope this is the last time I have to pretend to be your sister.
Many years pass. Abram and Sarai are now old, and they have no children. But God repeats his promise.
You will have more descendants than there are stars in the heavens.
As a sign of his promise, God changes Abram's name to Abraham, which means father of many. God also changes Sarai's name to Sarah, which means princess, because she would be the mother of nations. But Sarah is too old to have children. Without any sons, how could Abraham's descendants be as numberless as the stars?
God has promised me an heir. God said, "You will have a baby, and we will call him Isaac."
One day, while Abraham is resting, he looks up. 3 strangers, who are actually angels, approach Abraham's camp. He greets them and invites them to rest and eat with him. While they are eating, one of the strangers gives Abraham surprising news.
Your wife, Sarah, will have a son.
I am too old to have children now.
The angels who visited Abraham had told him Sarah would have a son. 1 year later, their prediction comes true.
Who would have thought that I would ever have a son? I'm too old, but I'm holding my baby in my arms.
I'll never doubt God's promises again.